I love fruitcake. Straight out of Ngaruawahia, New Zealand. Here's Mario. Hello, Maurieo's daily vlog, number 592, Fruitcake. Hello, welcome. Hi 3.5, how's your day been? Well, mine's been pretty good, but so much better because I've got fruitcake. So, this morning I went off for the second part of my infusion up at 6 into the hospital, got infused, came home, dropped into Wintec. There was one, actually my card wouldn't let me in. Unfortunately, one student was there, so I have to sort that out. I've been locked out. I think it might be a conspiracy. My wife has talked to Wintec. No, I don't know. We'll have to find out about that. I was just reminded of it. And so one student let me in, but he didn't need any help at the time, so came on home. Now, I've got coming up, I'm organising organising a picnic for the Christmas thing, and I wanted to make the fruitcake. So I'm doing this trial run of this fruitcake that recipe that I have. So I made this this particular fruitcake here, and well, I've got the recipe. It's tried and true, but I just wanted to make sure it was still going. So here it is here. I'll just put the recipe up. It's called Rose's Fruitcake. Now, Rose was the wife of a colleague of mine, Ray Houghton, a surveyor. And Ray and Rose lived over at Tauranga, and when I was in Bay of Plenty, I used to go, and when I was working there, I used to go and visit them, and they would give me a meal. And well, when Ray passed on, Rose continued, and she used to have these lovely fruit cakes, and wonderful cook and great conversationalist too, Rose. I always enjoyed conversation with Rose. She had a very interesting occupation. Yes. So anyway, Rose used to make this fruit cake, and she gave me this recipe. Now, it's the simplest recipe I've ever come across, especially for a fruit cake. A lot of people are quite daunted by a fruit cake, but this one here, well, even I can make it. So it's got to be pretty good. And what it is this, so I can almost remember the recipe, but I thought I'd just get it up here. So you get 1 kilogram of mixed dried fruit, which is, we just buy that at the supermarket here in a 1 kilogram plastic bag. So you get 1 kilogram of mixed dried fruit. It's all raisins and all sorts of bits and pieces, with some dried peel and some red glazed cherries and green glazed cherries and all sorts of stuff in there, and 1 kilogram of it. And then you need 2 cups of orange juice. I get Kerry orange, pure orange juice, none of this apple juice stuff, but 2 cups of orange juice, and you soak it overnight in a bowl. You put the thing in and soak it after. I like to get the potato masher and just push it down so it's under the orange juice. Now, it doesn't seem, I don't know, this might be the top tip of this, but you do have to soak it overnight. I tried soaking it during the day once, and it didn't turn out right. So I don't know what the overnight thing is or that, but that's so I always make sure I soak it overnight, not under day. Right, so you put it in, and then you let it soak. Probably the longer you let it soak, the better. And then, well, I started it yesterday, about midday, perhaps. I don't know. I started it quite late, and then I came back about midday, and I added two and a quarter cups of self-raising flour. Now, it must be self-raising flour. You can make your own self-raising flour with baking powder or whatever it is, but I find it's the self-raising flour that you buy is far and away the best one here. And then you mix it. I got a a wooden spoon, and I mix it. Make sure the flour's all thoroughly in and right down to the bottom and mixed right through. I just mix it by hand with a wooden spoon. And then you bake it at 170 degrees for 1.5 hours. 170. Now you might... So in today's one, I got one of those silicon baking things, which will go up to 220 degrees, so 170 is fine. And I oiled it, and then I put some silver foil in the bottom, although I was informed later that we had baking paper that I could have used, which possibly would have been better. And so the dish, or the baking pan I've got, was maybe 20 by 20, which is a bit big. So I'm going to go for something a bit smaller, a bit deeper, because I want to get a deeper cake. So and that's it. Put it in for 1.5 hours. Keep an eye on it, and it's got a bit of a crispy top, a little bit chewy on top. And discussing that with my wife, she suggests maybe I could bake it at around maybe 150, 160. So I want to get it slightly taller. And there's a few little, they're a bit crispy, some of the raisins on top, but still they got a certain taste about them. So so that's the recipe and the methodology, so to speak, of how to get it done, and that's what comes out there. So there's the finished cake there on the rack drying, and as you can see here, there's a little bit left of it. I'm quite full of fruit cake at the moment, and you can see there it lovely cutting slices and what have you. And I guess if you go back to the thing there, you can see there's me with my lovely Easter cup, and there's a little slice of it enjoying the fruits of my labour. And that fruit cake there, yes, it's pretty wonderful stuff, pretty simple to make. Give it a whirl, and as you can see there, it'll be a little bit nicer if it was a little bit taller on it there, but I'm quite proud of myself actually. I did it all by myself. So high 3.5 to me, maurieos, and I've got that wonderful cake, and unfortunately I think I've eaten a little bit too much of it, so it's been a wee bit of a shock for my system, and is having some unintended consequences, but nonetheless it's all pretty good. So let's have a look at today's diary. And it went from one day there torrential rain, next day beautiful sunset. So we had sunlight. So we had some beautiful light in the late in the day. You would have thought it was a wonderful summer's day, but then it had torrential rain in parts. So. And that's the December 1st is our first day of summer here. First day of summer. So it's the second day of summer, but you would hardly think so. Although it is quite warm. I'm sitting here in my infusion shirt and shorts. So 5.92 fruitcake. And I think I've waxed lyrical about the fruitcake. We're going to have another rebus today. I've got there. And... yesterday's rebus, bit of drama there, and 200. No, it's not. It's 215. I got that totally wrong, and it was a hint. So we'll just fix that. 215, and what's the easiest way to do this? Hint 1. Yes, it was a hint. Hint 1. And it's gone. Moz got it. It was Yael Diane a Israeli politician whose father, Mushy Dayan, I always remember because he had an eye patch. He wore an eye patch, which incidentally sold on eBay apparently. Mushy's eye patch sold for $75,000. So I might start wearing an eye patch, and perhaps that could help the family legacy out in a few years' time. And we've got a new subscriber. I think it's Violetto. I don't know whether it's Violetto Yugi or Violetto Yugi, but welcome along to the maurieos daily vlog. We're pleased that you've joined us, and we hope you hope to see more of you. And you've liked and possibly turned on the notifications and subscribed. So perhaps if you wanted to make some comments in the comments below the videos, you're more than welcome. And so, as I said, I popped into Wintech, caught up with one of my students there who didn't need my help at that time, but subsequently later has, and getting through with the infusion. So yeah, bit of a mixed day there, but nonetheless. So let's move on to today's challenge, which is a rebus here. A couple of little pictures there that says a relatively well-known saying that certainly is common around this part of the world, and is used in reference to a particular type of people. Perhaps we can elucidate you more on that in the coming days. So yesterday's one, nobody got this one. Moz had a couple of goes at it, and I gave him a few little hints, but obviously the hints weren't strong enough, or weren't good enough. And so I think that's the first, possibly the first rebus that we haven't been able to get a solution to. But this one here is Area 51. LI, of course, the Roman numerals for 51, and Area 51, a top secret area in Edwards Air Force Base in America. I'm not sure where Edwards Air Force Base. I think it might be in Nevada. I'm not sure. Perhaps someone can fill in the details around that. But Area 51, the source of many conspiracy theories, particularly about alien landings and some of the stuff that goes on there. I shouldn't laugh, but yes, I listen to all the conspiracy theories and then have my own opinions about them, which I pretty much keep to myself. But I do like to hear them, and the Area 51 ones there, and what have you. There's some amusing stories around that. Amusing in a respectful way. So that brings us to the end of today's daily vlog, the 592nd consecutive daily vlog, and we're coming up for 600, and then pushing on to 700, and then 730. Will be 2 years. I hope 2 years of consecutive daily vlogging. So that's going to be quite a few little milestones coming up. And it's thanks to everybody for liking and subscribing and supporting and commenting and feeding back and taking part and interacting and all those wonderful things that you do that keep me going, give me a certain amount of motivation, enable me to set some goals moving forward. And I appreciate everything you do and every little bit you contribute to maurieos daily vlog. All good. Cheers. See you again tomorrow. Yeehaw. See you. Smash that like button. This has been a Maurieo presentation from our studio in Ngaruawahia, New Zealand.